Do you have a dream to one day own land? I know I did way back when I was in high school. My wife and I were able to purchase 37 acres, and in this video, I want to share with you how we were able to do that. The dream of owning land has been a desire of mine for a long time. I loved the idea of having a place I could hunt on, build on, support my family from, and really make it my own. But honestly, in my younger years, it was more of a pipe dream than an actual possibility. After high school, I went to college to be a pilot and mechanic. My goal was to fly into hard-to-reach areas of the world to help provide remote areas with the resources they needed to survive. My wife and I ended up living in a fly-in only village in Alaska, which we loved and hold those memories so dear to our hearts. But long story short, we kept having kids, and the season of our life was changing, and our path forward was starting to look a little different as time went on. At that time, we were able to live where we did because of faithful supporters who believed in what we were doing and wanted to be a crucial part in the work that was being done. Later on in our marriage, and as our family continued to grow, the desire of owning land was becoming more of a goal than a dream. As you know, buying land is not cheap, especially in today's market. The truth is, we never won the lottery. We did not inherit thousands of dollars, but what we did do was make the most of our opportunities one step at a time. It started with a good desire, a good idea. We spent many hours and late nights researching opportunities that would fit our skill set and season of life we were in. We asked a lot of questions, and we looked for the next steps, and we were always willing to adjust if needed. And most importantly, we prayed a lot and needed to continue to trust the Lord. If land was a part of His plan for us, awesome. But we also had to submit to the reality that owning land may remain just a dream, and that was okay too. When we moved from Alaska, we actually found an old farmhouse on 3 acres in the country that was actually really in rough shape. I mean, the roof was pretty much falling apart. There were raccoons living in there, snakes, and even bees. It was a mess. But what that meant was we got it at a price that made sense for us, and there was way less competition. So we bought it knowing we would need to put in the work and build on the sweat equity needed to make this home livable again. But for us, the challenging journey was way worth it. I also had a friend who is a general contractor that was willing to work with us to cut costs and allow me to do the work that I had the ability to do. So don't forget, all skills that you learn are not for waste. So that means the summers that I was able to spend framing houses, working on roofs, and the volunteer work that I was able to do over the many years has been well worth the effort. So I'd encourage you, always be willing to learn, build strong relationships, and work hard. So as we renovated the farmhouse and moved in, we also started to garden and raise chickens and grow our skills and understanding of what it takes to take care of a chunk of land. The reality is, again, weeds and grass grow so fast, at least where we were living. And also, raccoons love chickens, unfortunately. There were definitely highs and lows, and much more I could share about that chapter of life, but that may be for another video. So we lived in that old renovated farmhouse for about 3 years. And again, as we looked ahead and processed through the variables in our life that we cherished, the opportunity came up to sell that house and buy my childhood home for my parents. This transition, although the house we moved into was at that point again of needing updates, it allowed us to build enough equity to purchase the 37 acres we are talking about in this video. And actually, that is a benefit to us as well, because I don't mind putting in that work and building that equity in our home. So we had to redo the roof again, put in a furnace, we added air conditioning, and the list goes on. My point is, basically our financial strategy in our homestead big picture endeavor has been building equity in the homes we live in and use that to invest in our longer term goals. My wife is still able to stay home, and I work full time to keep things going. I hope you hear that owning land is possible, but it's not just about the land. The land isn't going to last forever. The house, garden, pole barn, none of it will last forever. But what does is the lessons learned throughout the process of the journey. Our next steps in our homestead plan is to put in a driveway and then eventually build a pole barn, plant a garden and pasture, add fencing, do deer management, take care of the pond and hopefully add some fish one day and a big one, I would love to build the house out there and purchase animals and then run a homestead that will help provide for our family, build great memories, and allow us to invest in our community. But remember, these are dreams. Like buying land, the reality is to get the needed infrastructure to support these endeavors is not cheap or easy. But I believe as we continue our journey, God will direct our steps as we seek Him first, and the life lessons learned will be priceless. That may mean one day we sell this property or may see this plan come to fruition. Either way, we know we can't predict the future, but God is faithful, and what matters most is where we truly find our hope and life, which means we can live intentionally and make the most of the opportunities we are given. Now you may be thinking, yeah, that all sounds great, but that also sounds like a ton of work, and there's actually no way those kind of projects and dreams would ever fit my schedule or even my budget. Or you may be thinking, well, how do you even manage that kind of workload with having a large family, a full-time job, and the everyday responsibilities, and not getting overwhelmed and losing sight of what really matters most? Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because the reality is life does get busy, and I can get just as distracted from my goals due to daily circumstances and problems as maybe you do as well. So I wanted to share with you a process I've used for many years and decided to write it down in my Measured Ground Project Planning Workbook. My goal in life is to stay aligned to what really matters and intentionally do things that impact and build into my main priorities. And this is done by consistently keeping the big picture in mind. However, as you know, great intentions don't go anywhere unless productive steps forward are being accomplished. And that simple concept is actually pretty complex, but consistency builds confidence. I would encourage you to check out the link in the description below to a PDF version of the Measured Ground project planning process I've used for years when planning and living life with intentionality. Thanks for all your support, and if this is helpful for you and your family, please hit the like button and subscribe, and let's live life with purpose the way we were designed to live. Distracted, just kind of walking down the trail. Might give me an opportunity. Not sure what he's looking at. Might be grazing, might be hungry, might have to go to the bathroom. Not real sure. Zoom in for a better look. For something. Nah. He's looking at me. He saw me. Oh man, he's coming after me.